Alright guys, so today I'm going to be showing you a little bit of a science experiment. So all it uses is just a green deck of cards over here, but also it uses this card here, which is from a different deck of cards. And we will get back to that in just a little bit. But for now, if I had a spectator, I would just ask them to go ahead, call out stop anywhere. Let's say they say stop right over here. So it doesn't really matter which card that they stopped on. All that matters is that they know that they could have stopped at any one of these cards. But 7 of hearts, that's totally fine. They can go ahead and sign the card if they want to. And if I had a real spectator, I would ask them to hold out their hand palm up. I would take the card and ask them to sandwich their other hand on top of it so that there's no way that we could get to it. And in order to mimic this, because I don't have a real spectator, we'll just use the box here to pretend like they're holding on to their own card. So back to this little science experiment idea. So the purpose of this experiment is to demonstrate one of Newton's laws. And I believe it's his third law, and it's the law that states that every action has an equal and opposite reaction. So I'm going to demonstrate that law, but it's going to be in a way that you might not normally expect me to do it in. So it's going to be kind of interesting. So take a look at this card over here. As you guys can see, it's just the ace of spades from a different deck of cards, but the face of the card doesn't matter. What matters is the back of the cards. You guys can see that the back here, it really is the only pink card here out of all of these green cards. Now, if this law is true, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, then watch what's going to happen next. If I take this card and I just give it a little shake, 1, 2, 3, you can it almost looks like that color just completely disappears, and it maybe could be here, but it's not here on the ace of spades, and it might be in the deck, but I don't see it anywhere in the deck. But if this law is true, every action has an equal and opposite reaction, then there has to be a pink card somewhere because it was here. But if it's not here, then it must be in your hands, right on your signed card, the 7 of hearts, which is now pink. And that right there is the trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to stick around for the tutorial. Alright guys, so I'm back again with another original effect. That's right, this is another trick that I came up with, and I think it's a pretty cool trick, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the performance. And now let's get right into the tutorial. Let's see how this trick is actually done. All you're gonna need are just 2 decks of cards, but you are just gonna be using 1 deck for the trick. But the reason why you need 2 decks is just so that you can get out the duplicates of your force cards, basically. So all you're gonna need is just a green deck of cards, and once you have that, just get out a 7 of hearts and an ace of spades. You guys can use any cards that you want. I just chose 7 of hearts and ace of spades. And then you're gonna need to get out another deck of cards and also pull out the same matching cards from your other deck of cards. So here we have also the 7 of hearts and the ace of spades. And one thing that's very important is that make sure you use cards that have the same brand. So for example, I'm using both bicycle deck cards. These faces look absolutely identical to each other, and so do these 7 of hearts. But if you guys are gonna use, for example, like bicycle cards and then Theory 11 cards, you know, sometimes the faces of the cards, like the ace of spades on those decks, are gonna look completely different from each other, and that is not what you want. You want the cards to look identical to each other. So just make sure that you use cards with the same exact brand, or faces that have the identical design on them, and that will make sure that this trick looks the best way that it can. So once you have these cards, you're almost ready to go. This trick does need a little bit of a setup, but it's pretty simple. So all you're gonna do is take your green deck here, and you're gonna take first the ace of spades that matches with the entire deck that you're using. You're going to turn it face up and place it on the bottom of the deck, and then you're gonna take your green 7 of hearts, or the 7 of hearts that matches with the rest of the deck, and place that also face up on the bottom, right underneath that ace of spades. So far the setup is this. You just have a deck of cards, then you have a face-up ace of spades and a face-up 7 of hearts, and these cards are both green as well. So now the next part of the setup is you're just gonna cut about half of the cards and then remove the top half of the deck. You're gonna take the pink 7 of hearts and place it face up in the deck here. And one more thing you wanna do is just make sure that your 7 of hearts are lined up the right way. And what I mean by that is that you can see here that there are 5 hearts on the top also, and 5 hearts on the top. Now, if I was gonna take this card and turn it over, just like this, then you would see 5 cards here on the top, but now only 4 cards here, and now there's 1 missing, and it kind of jumped over here. So you just want to make sure that these cards are in the same orientation. So make sure if there's 5 here, there's 5 here, and also you could do this way too. You could have 4 there or 4 there. Just make sure that they're matching with each other, okay? That's very important. So this is the pink 7 of hearts, and once you place it here, you're gonna pick up the top half of the deck again, turn the rest of the deck over, hold a break, and put the rest of the deck on top. And that is a setup for the trick right there. So this is how you're gonna start out the trick. But if you guys don't wanna start out with a break, there is something else that you can do, because in the real performance, I actually did not start with a pinky break at all. And I was still able to get that break in order to get that 7 of hearts. So what I do is, before I do anything, I first take the 7 of hearts here and I give it what's called a breather crimp. Now, this is a pretty advanced term. Basically, you're just putting a little bit of a bend in the card. You're not ruining the card by doing this. You can easily take this bend out at any point that you want, but you're just gonna basically run your thumb along the corners here like this, face up. Just kind of run it along each corner like this, from the center going outwards. And this will create a little bit of a bend in the card, so that when you take the card and place it down, and I place the rest of the deck on top, if I just sort of release pressure now, if I just try and cut the deck anywhere, basically, I just kind of drop the cards in my hand, I just kind of release pressure, it's gonna cut exactly to my 7 of hearts. And now I don't need a break, because I can just kind of do that, and now I'll have my break instantly. All right, so once you have all that stuff ready to go, now you're ready to go, and this ace of spades can just be in your pocket when you start. The first thing that you're gonna wanna do is have the deck out, and you're just gonna say, all right, so we're gonna do a little bit of a science experiment here. We just need a green deck, and also this pink card from my pocket here, and we'll get back to this in just a little bit. So now you're gonna find your break, and you're just gonna do that by, cutting to the breather crimp. So you're just gonna release some pressure, have the cards fall. That's gonna cut the cards exactly to your break. And now you're just gonna hold the cards, keep a break there. What I did was I cut to the breather crimp and then swing cut the cards and then maintained a break like this. So it just kind of looks like I'm mixing the deck up even more, but all I'm doing is getting that break. Now all I'm gonna do is a normal standard riffle force. So I'm just gonna have the spectator call out stop anywhere they want to. Let's say they say stop over here, break the cards at the pinky break or at the breather crimp, and then I'm gonna turn over this 7 of hearts, and I'm gonna use the packet in my right hand to turn over this card. Now I'm gonna execute the switch of the cards, and how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna say, so it doesn't matter what card you picked. All that matters is that you could have picked any one of these face-up cards that you guys can see. And right there, I've switched the card for the pink card. Now, how you do this, it's pretty simple. It's all in the action of you showing the fan to the spectator. What you're gonna do is basically do exactly what you just saw me do, is you're gonna turn the entire packet over. So you're gonna start in this position here like this. You're gonna show the spectator, the fan, all these cards here. And as your hand here is blocking, all they're gonna see is this. They're just gonna see a bunch of cards, and they're gonna be distracted by that as you take your thumb underneath the packet and you're just gonna rotate the entire packet over like this. And that's gonna switch out the card for the pink card, just like this. And you're just gonna do that kind of quickly. Just do a one-handed fan, show the cards, flip the packet over, and then you can bring the cards back. And it looks like nothing happened. It just looks like you're showing the spectator the cards and then putting your hand down. But now you've switched out this card to be a pink card here. And now you're gonna place this card in the spectator's hands, and you can just place these cards back together. It doesn't really matter. And this will go in the spectator's hands, and this part of the trick is already done. Their card is already pink, but they have no idea. So now this is the situation in the deck. So all the cards are now turned over. Now you have the 7 of hearts, the green 7 of hearts on the bottom, and the ace of spades also second from the bottom. So all you're gonna do now is first, you just need to get rid of this 7 of hearts. So I just usually do a double undercut like this, so I get a break on that card. I swing cut some cards, drop that card on top, maintain the break again, and then cut those cards to the top. So that will just basically move my 7 of hearts back to the top. Another way you can do it is you can have a break, you can swing cut some cards and then ride the card along with those cards, and then move those cards back to the bottom. And that will actually put that ace of spades back on the bottom. So all you wanna do is just move that 7 of hearts out of the way so that it will put this ace of spades on the bottom here. Because what you're gonna do in a second is a gambler's cop of this card. So you're gonna get a break on this card, and then you're gonna move your hand back and release that card and bring the rest of the cards forward. If you guys don't know how to do a gambler's cop, I've taught this in many of my videos before, and also there are many other in-depth tutorials on YouTube of how to do a gambler's cop. But basically, you're getting this card ready to be palmed away or stolen from the deck. So you're gonna palm that card away as you spread the deck on the table, and this hand is gonna drop to your side. and now you're holding this card secretly palmed in your hand. And now you're going to introduce the idea of Newton's third law. This really is true. It really is Newton's third law of motion, which is, every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And now you're going to pick up this card. You can flip it over, show the ace of spades, and say the face of the card doesn't really matter. All that matters is the back of the card. And as I say this, I'm going to bring my left hand up and load this card underneath like this. So I just load that card right underneath. So now I basically have a double backer with one side pink and one side green. And now I'm going to be talking about how there's only one pink card here, and I just remind them of the law. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction, so keep that in mind when I do this. And all I'm going to do now is a simple shake change. And if you don't know how to do that, you just hold the card at the bottom right corner with the thumb and the top left corner with the middle finger here. You're going to take your index finger and basically pull the card and then push the card like this. So you're just rotating the card from here to here. And you do that as you shake your hand. So you're going to shake your hand, you go 1, 2, 3. The entire rotating action, you don't want to do it slowly. You want to do it like that. That's about how fast I do it. So I go boom, it's already done. So I do that as I go 1, 2, 3. And as I move my hand forward, that's when I shake the card like this. So it should look pretty instant. 1, 2, 3, boom. And that's how I do the shake change. And now it looks like that card changes green. Now what I do to clean up is I just move the cards back, drop that card off, and then move the top card forward, and then drop my hand down to my side. And then you can flip this card over, set it on the table, and have the spectator examine this card and say, look, now there should be a pink card somewhere here in the deck. Try and find it. And this is a good misdirection. You can have the spectator look in the deck for this pink card. And then as they're looking, you can just kind of ditch this card in your back pocket or something. So that will get rid of that card. And now you can use both hands to say, so yeah, look at, you can see all these cards, but there's no pink card here. There's no pink card here. So that should mean that it must be in your hands. And now they look, and now there's one pink card in their hand. So it's a pretty cool color transpo effect. And yeah, that's basically the entire trick right there. And yeah, you guys can examine the deck afterwards, but there is going to be this duplicate 7 of hearts in the deck, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be somewhere in the middle of the deck. So you guys can spread out the cards. They're not really going to notice that there's a 7 of hearts if you just kind of move the cards around like this. But yeah, that's basically the entire trick, guys. So I really hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, hit the like button. Also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and see you guys for my next one. Bye.